Hi everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Another day, another Dodge Caliber problem. I still maintain it's the greatest car ever built, but man, in its old age, it's been giving me fits. Today we were out in it and it decided it didn't want to start. Turned the key, nothing, totally dead. But we were able to give it a push and get it bump started so we could get home. Now we have to figure out why it wouldn't start. The greatest fear you can have after one of these episodes is that once you get the stupid thing home, it starts. So we're going to try that first. Try and start it, Deb. Okay, so it didn't start. So what we're going to do now is pull the relay cover off. Now, if our relay box was still in the fender like it was, that would be a whole new fun thing to do. But we've got it in here. Try and start it. Just cycle the key a few times. Turn it right off. Yeah, and go again. That's weird. Do it again. I heard a little click there. Hang on. Do it again. Okay, hold it. Try now. Do it again. You're going like that? Okay. So, I don't know, this car, it probably only lets you do that once or twice. But I do hear the relay clicking. So, what we're going to do is we can only assume that our starter is toast. It's down here under the manifold. I'm going to have to go and see if I've got another one or if we have to get a new one. The starter is right down in there. So we'll see if we can get out of it. I think get the air box and this pipe out of the way, and we may have to take the manifold off. Although I may be able to just get it from underneath. I might jack it up and see if I can get it from underneath. I see one bolt. We'll see. That's a job for tomorrow. Well, I found one in the shed. Let's see if it works. Yep, it works. So let's see if we can get it changed. I looked underneath and it's trapped by the intake manifold and the throttle body. But I kind of think if I get some of this stuff out of the way, I can get it out through the top if I can get it the bolts. So that's what we're going to try right now. I'm going to get this out of here and we'll see what we can do about getting it out. So there it is down in there. There's one bolt and there's the other bolt. Looks like they're 15s. So we'll see if we can get those out. I've disconnected the battery and then hopefully we can jiggle the little bugger out of there without having to take the intake manifold off. That'd be just swell. So, yeah, I had to take the throttle body off. That gave me the clearance just to sneak the starter past. And you'll see we've got it hooked up here on the ground. She's finished. So, at least we found the problem. As ugly as these cables look, the parts where they actually make contact were nice and clean. So we just put some anti-seize on them. Yeah, that's perfect. And we're going to get this all buttoned back up and we'll get the thing back in there. Okay, it was a little bit of a struggle, but we got it back in. Now I just got to get the bolts in, get them tightened up, and then we can put the throttle body back on. I think I got to turn it a bit. There we go. There we go. The starter's back home. And before I start buttoning up the rest of it, I'm just going to reach in there and make sure that the little yellow wire that trips the solenoid is still on there, because you don't want to have to go in there later because I knocked it off putting the starter in or whatever, right? Alrighty. The worst is behind us. Now we can put the air intake tube back on. And once I got that on, I can plug this thing back in so we can put the ignition on without setting a trouble code. And before I put the air box in, we'll make sure it starts. Alrighty, I got the battery cable on. Let's see if it'll start. Oh, the sweet, sweet sound of success. All right, thanks, Deb. We've got this thing here on the bench. Now let's see if there's any hope for it. I've got it hooked up as it would be in the car, grounded, and positive cable from the battery coming down to it. That simulates it, right? And then if you flick the ignition and told it to start, you would energize the solenoid, and theoretically, this would close and the starter should start turning, right? Well, all we're getting is a bunch of sparks. So anyway, what we could check next is bypass the solenoid completely and go right to here. That's quite interesting. Starter should be whizzing now. And it is not. So it's possible that it's completely fried. You can see what the problem is with this. This exposed bit of cable here that goes down this is what energizes the starter. It's completely rotted away. There's nothing left of it. So it's possible we could fix it, but I don't know if we'd be able to trust it. But you know, taking it apart to see if we can fix it is not a crime, that's for sure. You can't wreck something that's wrecked more by trying to fix it, can you? Well, so much for that. We got the one screw out with some heat and, you know, working back and forth. But the second one, as soon as I touched it, broke. So this thing is junk now. I guess we could see if we could pop it apart and see if there's anything interesting inside it at least. Well, that's cool. You open it up, you can see it's gear reduction starter. It's got a little planetary gear set in there. That's interesting. That's quite interesting. All that shrapnel came out of it when I pulled the armature out. But there it is. There's a tiny little armature in there. And nothing like the old starters on the old cars that I'm used to dealing with. Big, huge armatures that sucked a lot of current. This one is a small armature, low current, and it relies on the gear reduction to actually do the work. Quite interesting. I don't pretend to be an expert on the theory of it, but I guess that's just their way of doing it on this particular unit. Well, now that we got that behind us and it's been starting and running and doing everything good, it's that time of year. Got to put the snow tires on, and I guess I should probably make an appointment to take it over and get it blasted with rust spray. But for now, we're gonna get these. We're gonna get the wheels changed. Just have a fast look at things underneath, and get her ready for winter. While it's up, we do our usual check for leaks, torn boots, broken parts, anything like that. It all looks good. It's given no indication of any trouble with anything, so we're just going to put her back together. And then we'll let it down. We'll get these wheels torqued up and check the air pressure in them. The wheels are torqued up. We'll take it for a run and then retorque them again after to make sure. I've gone around and checked all the tire pressures. I found one that was a little low, but the other 3 were fine. So we'll maybe keep an eye on that. And now I'm going to check all the fluids, make sure it's all ready to go. It's not due for any kind of service or anything right now, so it's basically just checking. Then we'll make sure all the lights work, and then I got to put all my snow brushes and shovels and stuff inside it, so it's ready for anything. Yep, that's looking good. Check the front. That corner's good. That one too, perfect. I think we're good. I also checked the condition of the windshield wiper blades. They're all okay. I think I might go around. You know what? Before I put it outside, I'm just going to spray some oil on all the hinges and stuff. And the latches and locks. And then we'll call it ready for winter. Well, that's awesome. The old Dodge Caliber is ready for another winter. This thing has been through a lot of winters. Yeah, that was just the tire light coming on. It's confused. Now, when I put the snow tires on, it gets a little confused for a few days till it figures it out. But anyway, it's all good. Well, I guess that'll do it for that one. We fixed our starter and got it ready for winter. The old Dodge Caliber just keeps coming back for more. Truly the greatest car ever made. And I'll stand by that. We love this old thing. Anyway, I got to take off now. I'd like to thank you for tuning into our little channel. We have reached a milestone. 4,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to support us as we grow this thing. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. And until then, this is Kevin saying so long from the Claremont Classic Garage.